How are we doing? Where are all my buttons? There's all my buttons. My headphones are a little loud. We might have to do a little bit of pre-stream fiddling tonight. I finally took the plunge and disconnected the old gaming PC last night. The old gaming PC. It's less than 4 years old. But we're down to a one PC streaming setup again, which means I've had to move the audio's the thing most likely to mess up. Because I've had to move the Go XLR from one PC to the other because that was plugged into the gaming PC. Theoretically, the camera should be fine because that was always plugged into this PC. Although I've only managed to get one of them plugged in because I've run out of power sockets for the other one. I have a 12-way adapter that I'm going to set up tomorrow so I can plug the other camera back in again. But yeah, is the audio okay? Do I sound all right? Am I loud enough? Do I sound at the right volume compared to the music? The camera's cutting off the top of my hair. Good, it should be. It's all about the rule of thirds, Scotty. You know an amateur streamer when they're sat like this, right in the middle of their camera frame. My eyes should be level with the grid line for the top third. We've talked about this many times. Welcome to the pre-stream stream, by the way. This is where the cool kids hang. We are going to be playing some Football Manager tonight. We've got a season to finish off. We're going to try and get into Europe. We've got a transfer window to do. And while we're doing the transfer window, we're going to have a nice chilled out transfer window whilst watching along the France-Germany game. I'm indicating that up there, I now have a third screen plugged into a Sky Q box. So rather than watching on a 6-inch delayed iPlayer feed, I can now watch in pretty close to real time on a proper 28-inch decent sized telly. So we'll actually be able to watch along. You obviously won't be able to watch here. You can watch on your own telly. We can chat about the football almost in real time whilst doing the transfers, which would be lovely. And yes, that's right. As per Twitter, I do have Ronaldo in my fantasy team. So I'm feeling good right now. I've still got Kimmich, Mbappe and Kante still to play for match day 1. I'm on 50 points at the moment, which isn't that great looking at my league. I mean, there's people in the league already on like 80 or 90 points, which is absurd. But picking up 10 points for Ronaldo, that'll do nicely. How many extensions have I got on the floor? Just the 2. But at the moment, they're 2 8-way adapters, and tomorrow they're getting replaced with 2 12-way adapters. We've got lots of things plugged in. France will go out in the groups. I hope not. I like France. France is my second nationality whenever I put a second nationality in Football Manager, because I'm like, I can't remember whether it's a 16th French or a 32nd French. My great granddad was French, so what would that be? A 16th? Have I got a digital sticker album? I don't have a digital sticker album. I've got the real sticker album, which is complete because I'm a hero. And I don't think my plugs are a fire hazard. I don't think this is majorly different from most offices. I think we're probably okay. You are? What do you mean there's something wrong with my audio? Nobody else has mentioned anything's wrong with my audio. Is it the fan? Because I'm not... You've already made me not be allowed to have air conditioning. I'm not turning off the fan as well. What can you hear? You have to describe the issue. Yeah, that's the fan. The fan has to stay on. Oh, dear. I know, but I also like to not die of heat exhaustion. So if I can't have the aircon, I've got to have the fan. It's just non-negotiable. So if everyone's saying it sounds fine, that's what we can turn the music up a little bit so you can't hear a little bit. I think you're just particularly fussy about noises. Bearing in mind when Anna first moved into our old house, the day we moved in, I had to go around and take the batteries out of all the clocks in the house. And even now we don't have any clocks in the house because she can't bear the ticking of a clock. That's how fussy Anna is about audio. So yeah, she's probably got a higher bar than everybody else. People are asking how you are because yesterday's vlog ended on you potentially having COVID. She's not got COVID. She's all right. She hasn't had the test yet. The lateral flow tests take a while to turn up, don't they? I thought that would be an urgent thing, but they're not here yet. But you're feeling a bit better today, aren't you? She's got a sore throat and a slightly high temperature, but she's all right. A digital clock would be fine, but I mean, who needs clocks in this day and age? We have Apple Watches and phones and iPads and things. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Tower Bridge is on the telly. It's very sad. And the Shard, very upset. So audio is fine. The other thing that I can see Stream Elements have already kindly posted in the chat for me. We made it through to the semi-final of the Chicago Town Tournament of Toppings, which means it's time to vote again. We're voting for Magnificent Meat Feast. The link is in the chat. Like we said last time, the further into this tournament I get, the more they pay me. They pay me per round. So if you want to help out getting Kevy paid, just click on the link that's in the chat. Make sure you vote for Magnificent Meat Feast. We're up against another meaty one. We did beat Tubes. We knocked Tubes out. Tubes is nothing. The guy we're up against now in the semi-final has only got like 6,000 Instagram followers. We've got to have it. We've got to be through to the final. And then it doesn't matter if I win the final. I get paid the same whether we win the final or not. We just need to get to the final. So this is it. This is what we need. Click on the link. Vote in the poll. We're voting for Magnificent Meat Feast. It doesn't matter what you vote for in the other semi-final. I voted for the chicken one because to me chicken's less likely to win than pepperoni. But yeah, let's vote for Magnificent Meat Feast. Make sure you choose the right one because we're up against the other meaty one. I think it's called something like not as good as the Magnificent Meat Feast or something like that. But it's Magnificent Meat Feast is the one that I'm captain of. So let's get through to the final. Huzzah! 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 There we go. Right. Which we're placing Football Manager. Let's play some Football Manager. And I didn't expect to start off with 3 huzzahs, but I couldn't help myself. Trying to earn all that pizza. Trying to earn that pizza dough. That one deserves a ding. We're earning the pizza dough, boys and girls. Oh, lovely stuff. No, that was just because I did a really good joke. It was a really good joke. I won't ring it again. I know it's not the shut up. We've got earn your crust. Exactly. You've got to do another ding. I'm not going to do another ding, Anna. I'm a good boy. I'm only allowed to ding in the showdown. And apparently, because of the Euros, we don't get to do a showdown this month. Unacceptable. Right. The situation in the save. If you've not been around in the save previously, we started unemployed. We ended up in Belarus in the 2nd tier. Banjo Mike is in with the sub. 16-month streak. Thank you very much, Mike. 21 months I've been losing money on you. What am I doing with your life? You're living your best life, which is what you'd be saying if you were a mummy influencer on Instagram. You're living your best life. Live, love, lard. What is it? What are the 3 things? Probably not lard. Live, love, leggings. I don't know. What's the other? Laugh. There we go. Lust. Oh dear. Yeah, that one. The thing the cringy mummy influencers say and have on their fireplace. If you've got one of them on your own fireplace, I'm sorry. That is very cringy. Right. The situation is we started unemployed in Belarus. We started unemployed, ended up in Belarus. Smorgon were a team towards the bottom half of the 2nd tier. We got them promoted first time of asking. Got through to the Belarusian Cup as well, where we lost to Shakhtar Soligorsk. But we then knocked them out of this year's cup. And we are in with a chance of European qualification. There are 2 games to go. We're 4 points clear of what was last season our parent club, Neman Grodno. As long as we pick up 2 points, because we've got a much better goal difference, minimum of 2 draws and we're in Europe. 2nd to 4th all enter you into the 2nd qualifying round of the Conference League. So that's what we're looking for. Just 2 draws. Undefeated for the rest of the season. and we make it into Europe at the first time of asking, which would be glorious. And then we're just going to do the transfers whilst watching the France-Germany game. That's the plan for the evening, boys and girls. You could do a stream of showdown Euros where each person's only allowed to pick players from a certain Euro nation. I think ideas like that were floated. My concern with stuff like that is there's only so many nations that you'd want to be. Like, if you get North Macedonia, you might as well not turn up. So are there 9 nations with enough of a player pool to make that a level playing field? Or is there going to be someone who's got Scotland and they've not got a chance? If you're not doing the one this month, does the reigning champ retain by default? Yeah, I think that's how it works. I unironically said living my best life on Sunday, threw myself in the lake afterwards to bring myself to my senses. Good work. At least you recognise you'd done it and dealt with it appropriately. What are my tips? Oh, and yeah, DJ Glover has mentioned the other thing that we're discussing. I mentioned it on Twitter earlier. I'm toying with the idea of following a Premier League team next season, because now I've got my telly in here and I've got Sky in here and BT Sport in here and I can watch football in here now. The idea of following the Premier League is a possibility, but I know what I'm like. I won't just watch it because it's there. The only way I'm following the Premier League is if I'm following a team, because then that gives me a reason to watch. Because I imagine as soon as England are knocked out of the Euros, my interest in it disappears completely. But at the moment, I'm watching pretty much every game because I want to see how England's potential opponents are doing. I'm interested. It all has connotations for England. So I need to pick a Premier League team to follow. I'm not going to say support, a Premier League team to follow next year. Obviously, Posh is still going to be my team. We talked a little bit about it on Twitter. As a kid, my second club was always Arsenal. Well, I say always Arsenal. There was that year at Sheffield Wednesday when Chris Waddle was playing for them and they made it to the 2 cup finals, ironically against Arsenal. There was also the year when Alan Shearer was doing all the things for Blackburn and I did the Glory Hunter thing and got a Blackburn shirt with Shearer 9 on the back the year they won the Premier League. But pretty much either side of those two things, it was always Arsenal. I had multiple Arsenal shirts as a kid, but then as I got older, I grew out of it, focused in just on Posh. When I was able, we've had a takeover, but it's not a big money one. When I was able to start going to football on my own, it was always Posh. Apparently we were under a transfer embargo. We're not anymore. I don't think we've had any money thrown in. And then obviously when I lost interest in the Premier League, I lost interest in all of the Premier League. So, I mean, I probably know fewer Arsenal players than Liverpool or Manchester United or, I mean, there's Manchester City, Leicester. There's probably multiple teams, Spurs probably, that I can name more players for now. So I don't have a horse in this race, even though Arsenal were the one from the past. But the logical ones to me would be Arsenal because of the connection to my past and the fact it's relatively close to where I live. Leicester is the closest club to where I live. Aston Villa is also pretty close to where I live. Tottenham is a doable journey. Watford is a doable journey. Pretty much anything outside of those 5. I mean, I'm not even saying I would go to watch them live. I don't know how easy it would be to get tickets to any of those clubs. And really, it's just to give me an excuse to watch them on the telly. But I'd like to think if I got really into it, I might be making a decision here that I'm stuck with for the rest of my life if I really, really get into it. So it needs to be someone that realistically I could go and watch if I ever felt the urge to go and watch. So on that basis, the 2 most logical to me seem like Leicester or Arsenal. And I need to decide who it's going to be. Obviously, we don't need to decide right now, but I'm interested in everybody's thoughts. Leicester got way more. Well, I don't want to say votes because we haven't put it to a vote, but loads of people were saying Leicester seems like the obvious one. But my one concern with Leicester, and I know it's not likely to happen anytime soon, but it's not that long ago in the past that Leicester were in the same league as Posh. And obviously if that happened, which I know it's not likely to happen in the next few years, which is it's my concern about Villa as well. Obviously I can't be supporting another team who are in the same league as Posh. So because I've seen Posh play Leicester multiple times, and Leicester are kind of rivals for Posh. When we've been in the same league, we've kind of been rivals with each other. So Leicester just feels a little bit odd. Whereas Arsenal are obviously going to be in the Premier League forever. They're never going to be interesting, but they'll be in the Premier League forever. So there's lots of pros and cons to all. You'd have to buy a shirt and wear it on stream, so that rules out Spurs. Would I though? Shrews, thank you for the sub. I don't ever wear my Posh shirt on stream. I've got it hung up behind me. The new Posh shirt. FA Cup winners equals glory. I don't even know who won the FA Cup. Was that Leicester? I feel like that was Leicester. Yeah, they played Chelsea, didn't they? I didn't watch it. Oh, this is what I mean. I need reasons to start watching stuff. I want to turn everyone's perception of me as not knowing anything about football on its head. I want to baffle it. I want to earn a spot on the lowdown, and to do that, I need to learn football. I'd say Leicester because Arsenal tickets are very expensive. Am I not more likely to get into Arsenal though? Brentford's too far away, and again, Brentford are going to come straight down. So if Posh stay up, Brentford will be in the same league as Posh next year, so it'll just be a one-year flirtation. Brentford are basically Posh in different colour kits. Brentford's a definite no-go. As someone who lived in Rutland for a little while, I went to both Leicester and Posh games. Interesting. Am I set on picking an English team? Yeah, because the whole point is to get me to watch the Premier League. Maybe I'll get a little bit more extravagant with it if the Premier League sticks. Do some background work on our owners and look at how far we've come in the last 3 years, and you'll pick Villa. I suspect I won't, because Villa is... I mean, Villa's about an hour away from where I live. My thing that holds me back about Villa is when we were kids and I'd be prancing around in my Arsenal shirt, my brother would be prancing around in a Villa shirt because they were his teams. He liked Dwight York. So I feel like Villa is me vindicating my brother being wrong for all those years. I don't know if I can bring myself to do it. Whereas Leicester's completely neutral. Neither of us have any skin in the Leicester race. The big concern with Leicester is they could... They probably won't end up in the same league as Posh again anytime soon, but they have been in the recent past. And that makes me a little bit... Morgan, thank you for the sub. Latch, thank you for the sub. Beagles, thank you for the bits. Why are we not playing football matches, by the way? It feels like the season's over, even though it's like a month's gap between the 30th of October and then we've got 2 final games at the end of November. Is this the... Oh, it's the World Cup, isn't it? That's why. The World Cup's going on. I think. That's World Up. The World Cup, I think, is happening as we speak. Oh, no, it's not. World Cup will be scheduled on Saturday, the 9th of July, 2022. So, what? It's not... No, it's not now. It will be the year after. So, in that case, why the hell have we got a month off if it's not the World Cup? I don't understand. West Ham. West Ham is interesting because my favourite part of London is Stratford. And I keep telling Anna, when we're rich, we'll move to Stratford. And then obviously West Ham's walking distance. But they're West Ham, aren't they? And I just don't know. I don't know. It's West Ham. Got my confirmation. My Tesco order is due in the morning. Why would you want to move to Stratford? Because whenever I go down to London, that's where we stay. I spent about... I mean, actually, Greenwich Peninsula is #1 choice because I really like it there. But yeah, I probably spent about 6 weeks of 2019 sleeping in Stratford for various reasons. It's where I stay when I go down for conventions. It's where I stay when I go down to Sports Interactive. It's just... I definitely don't mean Stratford upon Avon. I mean Stratford in London. And the main reason we use that as our hub more than anything is it's easy to drive to because you're just straight down the M11 and you're there, you're in. Or if you want to get the train into King's Cross, 6 minutes on the fast train out to Stratford International. Boom. Easy. I go through it every day. I really would say no to Stratford. Yeah, but you're probably looking for different things out of somewhere to live to what I'm looking for. I'm not gonna lie, when I've stayed in London, that's the nicest part of London. Exactly, because it was all polished up for the Olympics, wasn't it? And that's what I want, somewhere nicely polished up. If you support West Ham, I may develop a disliking for that. I'm a Chelsea fan after all. But they're like on opposite sides of London. Are they actually rivals? That seems weird. They're about as far away from each other as you can get while still being in London. That makes no sense. I lived in Stratford for a spell and it was lovely. There you go, see? See? And you polish a turd every day. Every day. Just need to stop trimming your bum hair and they get polished on the way out. Easy. Don't research the West Ham owners. You'll find some interesting websites. Interesting. I'm realistically, West Ham are not on the table. I don't even really know why. I just don't feel like it. The any of the other options. I mean, even Watford would be more of an option. I really think the final two is probably Leicester or Arsenal. Da, 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 da. You think the hair would be a necessary part? The hair is very important for the polishing process. That's why I said stop trimming your bum hair. Go for Watford and be chummy with Mr. Miles. My concern with Watford is the same as my concern with Brentford, though. In that they'll probably be in the same league as Posh next year. So if I'm just doing a 1 year experiment, 1 year flirtation with the Premier League, and it's only supposed to be a year, then Watford and Brentford are fine as options. But what if it sticks? What if I fall in love with the Premier League all over again? What if it's 1997 again in my mind and everything is exciting and shiny and I'm gonna this is it, this is me, this is what I do now? Then it can't be a club that's going to get relegated and be in the same league as Posh, or I just have to drop like a stone. What about Leeds? It's a bit far away, isn't it? It's a bit. It's north as well. Plus, I have a dislike of Leeds because they wouldn't let me in the ground because they said I look like a terrorist because I've got a beard. True story. Back when we did our very first podcast, Best Thing From, where me and Sheepdog would travel around the country trying to find the best thing from every county. One of the things we'd do as part of a regular feature is we'd always go and have a tour of the local football ground. So we went to football grounds all over the country. It was really cool. But we turned up at Leeds and it was all prearranged with their media guy. And we got there and their head of security sat us down and said, I wasn't briefed about this. Obviously he had a Leeds accent, not whatever accent I'm doing. I wasn't briefed about this and frankly I'm not very comfortable with it. You both got beards. You could be terrorists. And I was flabbergasted. And after like 10 minutes of back and forth, ultimately decided not to let us in. So we just drove down the road and knocked on the door at Headingley. That's the cricket ground and rugby ground in Leeds, isn't it? Knocked on the door there and they let us in and we got to have a wander around there instead. So yeah, I have beef with Leeds. Yeah, Brighton is off the table because it's just too far. Manchester is so much better than Leeds. Manchester's also too far. No, apparently you can't be a clean-shaven terrorist. The number one sign of being a terrorist, according to this security guy at Leeds 10 years ago, the number one sign that somebody is probably a terrorist is if they have a beard. Wait until Posh are a Premier League club. And that's not going to happen though, is it? Pack up and move to Athens and be an Apollon fan. It's still pretty high up my to-do list the moment international travel is allowed again. I've already warned Anna. The trip to Athens is happening. We're going to time it so that we can see Apollon versus Olympiakos. That's the plan. She'll love that. Oh dear. Can we avoid making the chat a who's who of terrorists with beards? because I feel like that's the sort of thing Twitch might notice and come and shut the stream down. We're just chatting, throwing terrorists around like we're the terrorist fan club. Posh should be on TV more, so it could just be... I lost that. Could just be worth focusing in. I mean, I'll watch everything Posh you're involved in regardless.
Smile, thank you for being a really good watch during my market.
Thank you very much, the real bearded teacher, for your sub. 3 months now. Lovely, lovely, lovely. What about moving to Greenwich or Canning Town? Yeah, they're both places we've looked at. I mean, the move to London's not on the agenda anytime soon. It was like 18 months ago. We were imminently going to be going. But it's not on the agenda anytime soon now, because the situation changed. We moved here instead. We don't want to move again with the kids, so I think the move to London will probably be after Andy's moved out and after Amy's off at uni. So Amy turns 15 this month, like next week in fact, so she's got like 3 more years. Andy's probably got a couple more years, so probably 2 or 3 years down the line. Number one choice would be Greenwich Peninsula. And then Canning Town, they've got a lot of new builds going up in Canning Town, haven't they? That you see from the station. My thing with Canning Town, and this is really dumb, because Stratford doesn't have this either, but I just really like the idea of being able to see the river. Whenever we've stayed on Greenwich Peninsula, I just like the romance of being able to see the Thames. I'm such a loser. Right, I think we've just qualified for Europe. Although the game doesn't seem to think so, which troubles me a little bit. I wonder if we now need to guarantee it. Do we have to go above Bate? Because surely this isn't based on whoever wins next season's cup. Oh God, I bet it is, isn't it? I bet if we finish 4th, we're going to be left hanging until like May, June time when the cup final is, and we won't know until then. So we need to finish 3rd to know for sure. So we're 1 point behind Bate. And on the final day, we're away against Rockbrest, who need a win to stay out of the playoff. And Bate are away against Minsk, who are just a little bit above them. So it's gonna be a tricky one. There's new places where they're on the river at Canning Town. It's Something Island. Something Island sounds very romantic. Is Brighton too far as an option? What, to live or to support? I'd love to live on the Brighton Marina. Just because I want to be in walking distance of Frankie and Benny's. But yeah, it's too far to be a team that I actually go and watch while I'm still living here. If I've seen the terms, I'd rather buy a house on the banks of the French Broad, or I don't know what that means. I don't know what a French Broad or a Pigeon River is. Either way, I just like it. What can I say? I have romantic notions of London from spending so much time there. I just love it. I want to be there all the time. Right. But that's years away. Years away. Kev joins the Sidemen. They wish. FIFA's dying. They'll want to be part of the whatever the FM group will be called. I don't even know what Sidemen means. I don't know what the Football Manager equivalent could be. Not far from Stratford is Bow, and on the river they have bow locks. Nice. The ass men. I like it. The SI men. We'll come up with a catchy name. Let's face it, are any of them going to join a group with Kev They don't want to be overshadowed by me. Kev and his assistants live in Covent Garden near Bodines. I mean, I'd love to be rich one day, but I don't think I'm ever going to be that rich. And if we're in Stratford, there's Bodines at like opposite the Tower of London, which is less than 10 minutes away from Stratford. It's fine. I've been to London enough times, stayed out at Greenwich or at Stratford and gone to Bodines for tea. As long as you're on the DLR line, which you are in either of those places, you're all good. What am I hoping from Peterborough in the Championship next season? Just be nice for us to stay up. Staying up would be fine. Yeah, exactly. If you're on the DLR, you can drive the train. Love driving the train. Those of you who have watched old school vlogs will have seen me drive the train loads of times. But I don't think we need to post links to Bodines. I've been there plenty of times. I've probably been to all of them as well. I think the first one we went to was the one in Soho. We've been out to the one at Fulham. We've been to Tower Hill. I've been to the one on Old Street. Is it on Old Street or just off Old Street? Is there another one? Maybe I've only been to those 4. But yeah, whenever I hit a new part of London, the first thing I do is check if there's a Bodines within walking distance. When we went down to that, when me and Sheepdog went to that autism event on the river it was 2 years ago now, the black tie thing. As soon as that was done, I walked to Bodines to pick up some wings to cook at home. Bodines is amazing, but you usually have to get there before 5 PM, otherwise it gets packed out. It's not my experience. I've never been turned away from Bodines. I guess it depends on which one. Soho's usually pretty busy. That's why we stopped going to the Soho one. But at Tower Hill, I've never not been able to just walk straight in. And I've done that on Saturday night when the NFL have been in town and still been able to just walk straight in. Have I finished all my leftover barbecue from the weekend yet? No. I think it's probably at the point where it needs throwing away now. I gave it a good shot, but it's Tuesday. I cooked it on Saturday. It's probably dead now. That was the autism event with David Williams and Anne Hegarty. Yes. I've always been to the Soho one. Apparently, and I've never tried it myself, apparently there's a better barbecue place in Soho, but I can't remember the name of it. What other London restaurants do I like? Red Dog Saloon. More barbecue. Red Dog Saloon is great, but there's one of them in Nottingham now, so we don't need... I'm in London, I'm not going to waste a Bodines opportunity with Red Dog anymore, because I can go to the one in Nottingham. Mike, thank you for the sub. We literally just aim for barbecue when we're in London. The Diner is nice. It's just literally called The Diner, and they do the best chicken burger I've ever had at the Diner. There used to be one opposite Forbidden Planet, and it's not there anymore, but there are still a couple around London. What else do I like? There's a good chicken place called Bird, which is quite nice. But we don't exactly go to fancy restaurants. You got to remember, until like 3 or 4 years ago, I would always be totally skint when I went to London. I talked about that in a vlog once as well. But the first time we went to Summer in the City, we were so skint that me and Amy were eating like burritos out at the Westfield Food Hall, and they were like £6 a burrito, and it was like, oh, I don't think we can have burritos again tomorrow. We better get a Tesco meal deal for tea tomorrow. We were proper skint. And then the next time we went, I was there on the guest list, and they paid for all our meals. And it was like, this is weird, because now I can afford to eat down here and I don't have to pay anymore. So I did that cheesy YouTuber thing of, I'll give away a pizza. It just felt a bit weird. Wendy's is in Stratford now, is it? Whenever I'm in Stratford, I make a point of going to Shake Shack, because I love Shake Shack. I knew there was a Wendy's. I thought Wendy's was in Reading. But if it's in Stratford as well, or if I just misread what I read, I'd like to try Wendy's. Glider Dan, thank you very much for 15 months. We're bottling this, by the way, boys and girls. Always the rich that get stuff for free. It's a bit broken, isn't it? We got all day. We got breakfast and lunch at the event all 3 days, and they took us out every night. We went to a private screening at the whatever the movie place is, the cinema in the O2. I can't remember which one it is. We had a private screening and like meal and stuff there. It's mad how much they throw stuff at you when you don't need it throwing at you. We're not getting the I'm a Nut music for subs. Why? Why are you not getting that? Could it just be really, really quiet? Let me turn the system sound up a little bit and just replay one. I'm gonna turn the music off. Let's just see if it's just playing really, really quiet. I'm gonna turn my mic off. I'm a nut, I'm a nut, I'm a nut, I'm a nut. I saw that, so I think you are getting it. It was just really quiet. So I've turned it up, turned that slider up now. So I've turned it down a little bit so it's not too loud. How is it like this? Is that good? Hopefully that's good now. Hey, so yeah, it was playing. It was just a bit quiet. I knew I'd have to fiddle with the audio some way, somehow, because that was the one piece of audio that's always been on this PC. That's never gone through the Go XLR before, so it's just balancing everything right. I'm surprised less has gone wrong, to be honest. Peterborough's planned to have a Wendy's at some point. Really? I was excited when Peterborough got Five Guys a few years ago. What I'd like to try is that new chicken place that I can't remember the name of. The Asian chicken place. That I think there's one in Leicester. But what is it? Jollibee? Is that what it's called? They do chicken and spaghetti bolognese in the weirdest combination ever. I want to try that. I did do the set without Nerdphonic's help, although he told me how to do it. Basically, we're not going to know if we're in Europe until next season, I don't think. We've got it set up so that I'm using my Mac as my editing computer now. So it doesn't need to be connected while I'm streaming. But when I'm recording, all my recordings automatically save onto my Dropbox. So they're uploading onto the Dropbox the whole time. So when it's time to edit, I can just turn the Mac on. And because the internet's so fast here now, the upload and download is almost instant for those files. So I just turn the Mac on. Or I guess I could leave the Mac on, but I've had it turned off today. But just have the Mac on so it's syncing as well. So when I go to the Mac, everything's made it in there from my Dropbox. And I can do all the editing on there. That's the idea. So I managed to get the whole thing done from both cameras, all the game stuff, without ever needing to touch an SD card or touch a cable, plug anything in. It all just is there. It's magic. The Mac isn't just an expensive coaster, exactly. I mean, this was all Matt's suggestion. Because the Mac is better at editing than this computer. It's faster. It's what I edit the vlogs on, so it does make sense to use it for that. But it took Matt's brain to show me a logical way that we could do it whilst giving Anna a gaming PC at the same time. We've finished fourth, and I am now convinced we're not going to find out if we're in Europe until the cup final. And because of the stupid way the cup works, the cup final isn't going to be until midway through next season. We have already knocked out the team that beat us in the final last time. So looking at who else is in it, I think there's a good chance we could win it. But we have to win it now, or have one of the three teams. So Brest could win it. So if either us or Brest win it, we're in Europe that way. But it has to be us or Brest win the thing. And that's Dynamo Brest, not Rook Brest. This is sad. Posture check. There we go. Because it also means we can't sign players by tempting them with European football, which is just silly. Right. End of season review then. So signing in the season was Ivanov. That makes a lot of sense. We signed him permanently midway through the season because I'm a genius. We were supposed to fight against relegation. We finished 4th. We got an A+. Oh, there you go. The board is delighted the team have qualified for Euro Cup 2 through their participation in the highest. So the board think we've qualified for Europe, even though we haven't got the little thing and we haven't had an inbox notification. So unless they already know who's going to win the cup in 6 months' time, maybe we have qualified for Europe and we're going to get a notification through at some point. Maybe it does work it on last season's cup winners, which, well, was someone in the top 3, so that would let us in. All our money's up, which is good. That's the team of the year. Lots of things have been won. We've set lots of club records because we're heroes. Did we do any competition awards? Ah, there you go. Ivanov won the top scorer. Oh, he won the top scorer for that league last season. Not for this league this season. So confused about everything. So that's our all-time best 11, which is basically our current first team. Season review is all good. So what do the board want? The new board, remember. They want me to repair the club's financial damage and finish in the relegation playoffs. Well, I'm going to try and avoid that because we've done all right. What financial damage? Financial damage, my eye. Right, end of season, team meeting. We want to stay up through the relegation playoffs. We want to give a good account of ourselves in the cup because I don't know what else we're expecting to do. That seems to have pleased them. Cool. Right, I don't think we need to strengthen a lot of this team this window. If we can just continue to bring in the loan players permanently like we have been so far. I don't know how realistic it is to get this guy in permanently. We can make an offer and see if it's going to be doable. It might not be. But if not, we can extend his loan, maybe. When we're able to do that, we can probably extend his loan. And then we're pretty strong everywhere. If something awesome comes up, we'll bring him in. We've still got loads of spare wage budget that we didn't spend this season. We're good. I smell match fixing. Look, if it gets us in Europe, I'm up for some match fixing. The board fixed the cup, so either me or Brest win. That's fine. I'd like to win it because I'd like the trophy. But if they win it and qualify us, then that's fine by me. I mean, to me, logically, it should be done on the cup that was settled this season. So they're the 2021 winners of the league. Are they also showing us 2021 winners of the cup? Yes. So to me, because they won the cup last season, I don't know. I don't know, because I've never known a cup go across multiple seasons the way this one does. Any plans to do a watch along for the England-Scotland game? Probably not, because I find when I'm doing watch alongs and stuff, I don't concentrate on the game as much as I'd like to, and I'd like to really, really watch that. I sat there earlier having a look to see how much it would be to buy a ticket and go out and do a vlog. Just thinking, if it's less than 500 quid, I reckon that's a profitable enterprise. It's not less than 500 quid, folks. Oh, it's not even close to 500 quid. But I think if I could have got a ticket for less than 500 quid, I think I could have made a vlog that makes more than 500 quid back. or get a sponsor or something. But no, apparently you're looking at best part of £1,000 for a ticket for England-Scotland on Friday. Which even I'm not stupid enough to spend that kind of money. I don't think. Surprised Southgate hasn't asked you to be in the coaching setup. I mean, he's asked, but I'm too busy. I don't have time for it, really. I'm concentrating on club football. I'll go halves with you. Which half do you want to watch? Well, if I can watch the first half of the first half and the second half of the second half, and you watch the middle bit, I reckon I could make it look like on the vlog I was there for the whole thing. As long as we don't score all our goals in the bits I don't see, I could just pretend I was in the toilet. I'm sure that's how football tickets work. Scotland need me more. I'll start with Scotland from Saturday morning if they want me. How about trying your hand with scalpers? What, like in person? I'm far too afraid to do that. If I can't get them on one of the reseller websites, then they don't exist. I'm not hanging around outside Wembley trying to buy a ticket off someone with cash. That just is screaming, somebody please mug me. I don't want to get mugged. I don't carry cash. When I was in the post office today, which by the way, Ryan, if you're watching, your home shirt finally got posted today. I think it was a home shirt. Could have been anything in there. The envelope for Ryan finally got posted today. And apparently I was the first person ever to use their contactless card machine in the post office. Because everyone else prefers cash. I didn't realise I'd moved to the Stone Age when we moved house. Makes no sense. She's like, that'll be however much it was, please. And I'm there. I put my Apple Watch forward to pay. What are you doing there? I pay with my watch. Like I pay for everything everywhere. Can't remember the last time I paid for anything without using my watch. Apple Pay has like a £10,000 limit on it now. So I can just use my watch everywhere. I don't carry my wallet with me anymore. I just have my watch. What an awful place where everyone carries cash with them. Cards are invented for a reason. Exactly. I don't even carry my cards with me anymore. Just have my watch. Some of us prefer to use physical cash. It's a security thing. Cash is more secure. Strong disagree. There's not a chance I would walk around London late at night with £1,000 cash in my pocket. But I walk around with my phone in my pocket every time I'm there and don't feel worried or afraid at all. And my phone has access to every penny I possess in the world. So, strong disagree that cash is more secure. Yeah, Scotty says you can't get the bank to cancel your cash if you lose it. Exactly. Someone steals my bank card and does a load of fraudulent transactions, I get that money back instantly. If someone steals my wallet and spends all my cash, tough tomatoes, Kev, you've lost your cash. Nearly impossible to trace cash back to me, whereas somebody could use my cards to wipe me out in seconds. And then you get it back in seconds. I don't know what strange universe you think you're living in where you don't instantly get that money back. You can't hack a piece of paper. And it doesn't matter if they hack my phone or my bank account, because you get the money back instantly. And on that note, if you don't want to be hacked, you probably need a VPN. Might I suggest NordVPN, because they are excellent value. Believe it or not, it's their birthday, and you can sign up on a massive discount using !NordVPN in the chat, and it will help prevent you getting hacked when you're wandering around with your phone instead of your cash, because you're not mad. Yeah, my account got drained a few years ago from some guy in Las Vegas buying underwear, and I got the money back like that. And I got a phone call from my bank this morning, fraudulent transaction. They said, none of this has gone through. We're just checking if this was you. Someone tried to, I can't remember what she said now. It was something really boring, but a really boring thing. Was this you? And she said, no. Okay, fine. Won't put it through then. So it got stopped before the transaction even happened. Now, if someone had just taken 30 quid out of her purse, that's gone then. Just casually dropping in the ad. But this isn't my first rodeo, boys and girls. Nix is there as a plant. That whole conversation was rehearsed this morning. Did the guy get his underwear? I don't know. He had like a couple of motels in Vegas and some underpants and a flight. I think he bought all this stuff overnight. It happened. I remember getting the text while we were recording the podcast on a Friday night. And by the time I actually got around to dealing with it on Saturday morning, he'd spent like several £100s on a flight, a couple of motels, and some underwear shop. And they were just like, is any of this you? And I said, well, no, I'm talking to you from Peterborough. Do you think I'm in Vegas right now? And they just instantly money back into the account. Bosh. Done. Probably was Elvis. Is there perhaps a reason you keep getting hacked? I've been hacked. Well, it's not even hacked, is it? I've had my card cloned, I guess, once. Anna's had hers done once. It's just one of the reasons. It's one of those things from online shopping, isn't it? I guess. But it hasn't happened to me for years. None of this money, paper or digital secure. Give me livestock or nothing. But I can steal your pigs easily. I had my car cloned once. Nice. It happened to anyone using a card but not using a watch. That's perhaps why it doesn't happen to me anymore, because I don't even carry my cards with me anymore. Going back to the age of bartering with chickens. Financial institutions in the US are difficult to deal with. It could take months for me to prove fraud and receive restitution. You need to get yourself an offshore bank account then. Go full paranoia mode. I've tried nicking a pig, they weigh a ton. Yeah, but you just go in there, waft a few carrots around and they follow you. I've played Minecraft. I know how to lure a pig back to my lair. People can get their card cloned if they put it in the card machine and some person's put a camera or scanner on it. I haven't used an ATM for at least 2 years. I don't remember the last time I touched any cash. I just don't ever go. I have no reason to have cash. I don't ever go anywhere that only takes cash. No one ever pays me for anything in cash. I think the last time I touched cash was when we were in France, and we took a little bit of cash with us just because we were a little bit nervous because it's the first time we'd gone abroad for years, and I didn't know for sure my card would work anywhere and Apple Pay would work and stuff like that. So we took a little bit of cash as a backup. Once we got there and realized you could do Apple Pay everywhere like you can here, and my cards all worked. I've got a Euro bank account now linked to it's on the same Apple Pay thing as my Sterling one. So if I'm in a different country and use Apple Pay, it just comes out of my Euro bank account. It's genius. If I go to the US, I can add dollars to that. It's all very clever. I love living in the future. Yeah, I don't ever touch cash, and now I don't even bring my cards out with me. Prediction for the game tonight. Well, I've got myself in quite the pickle with this, because if we look at my fantasy team, I've got Mbappe. I've also got Kimmich and Kante. At least I've not got any defenders. If I had a German defender, I'd be cross with myself. I think probably Germany win. Because France are self-combusting, aren't they? Which is odd, because I have France to win the whole tournament. But it depends how much of a fallout they've actually had. What we really want is an Mbappe hat-trick. And a couple each from Kante and Kimmich. And then I'll be top of my fantasy league. You should order a Premier League shirt mystery box, and whichever shirt you get is the team you support. Yeah, but I'll get Man City or something, and I just don't want to have it. Kante isn't a good pick for fantasy football, not like to score or assist. Yeah, he was cheap. That's why I've got him. He's only like 5 million, I think. 5.5 million for Kante. So it was a name I recognised relatively cheap. Scotty, bearing in mind we're from places geographically very close to each other and of a similar age, I have no idea what the dodgy meaning for pegged is in the UK. I completely understood. I pegged this game for 0-0. And to me, that was pegged being used completely correctly. I have no idea what else pegged could mean. Look it up on Urban Dictionary. Oh, God, do I really want to? Urban Dictionary. Pegged. I don't even know how that works in a sentence. Oh, there's different meanings. Hold on. Now I get that one. A man who received a strap on... What? Okay. That's what pegged means. Well. Now I know. Now I know. Do not look that up, Kev. I've lived such a sheltered life. Do 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 do. There's people in French chef hats, and I like it very much. So this is where we need to work out early on what delay we've got. Because when I was watching in the iPlayer and the ITV hub, I was like a minute behind you lot all the time. Now I'm watching it on Sky, straight off at telly. Theoretically, we should only have the stream delay. Love the fact you started reading it and realised what it was and stopped. I read the whole sentence and then read half of it out to be hilarious. I am watching in HD. I was mortified, by the way. I've got a 4K monitor up there. When I was looking, I was looking at like small TVs to put up there. I was like, these are all only 1080p. I want a 4K screen. I want 4K monitors. Why would I spend the same price on a 1080p TV when I could get a 4K monitor? So I bought a 4K monitor, got it all set up, and realised the Sky Q mini boxes don't do 4K. They only do 1080p. It's only on the main box you can get 4K. So I've got a 4K screen up there that's only doing 1080p. I feel like someone smeared Vaseline over my spectacles. I've not watched such a grainy image in many a long year. It's a 28-inch screen. 28-inch screen, capable of 4K, only doing 1080p, like I'm a caveman watching it. Ask my wife who should support, and she goes, France. They look nice. Nice. Watch the England game in 4K. Was not overly impressed. That's because it doesn't matter what resolution you watch the England game in. They still had to change the exposure on the camera every time the ball moved from one side of the pitch to the other because of the ridiculous shadow across the Wembley pitch. Yes, it has got speakers. Yeah, I made sure it had speakers. Although, frustratingly, again, I didn't realise. I know you can pair the Sky remote with a TV and have it control the TV. What I didn't realise is if you don't pair it, because it won't pair with a monitor because it's not a TV, but it means the mute button and the volume up and down button don't actually change the volume that the box is outputting. So if I press mute on the remote, it doesn't actually mute anything. So in order for me to mute it when I'm watching when I'm streaming or making a video, I have to fiddle around with all the settings underneath because it's not on a remote control. Luckily, it is in arm's reach, but didn't quite think that through. Why the mute button on the remote doesn't just mute the sound from the box, though, makes no sense to me at all. I saw Jamie Vardy's become co-owner of a US club. A US club that doesn't exist or something. I have an LG nanotechnology OLED TV arriving tomorrow. Very excited. Nice. If you work out how to use it, let me know. Well, I mean, we don't have a super fancy LG TV, but we have an LG TV in our living room, and I just don't get on with it. We used to have a Sony one before Andy decided it needed replacing. And I loved the fact it had a Chromecast built into it. Whereas now, I guess I could just solve my problem by plugging a Chromecast into the thing. But in order to throw any media to this LG TV, it's a whole thing, and I don't really understand how to do it. So I've resorted to just throwing stuff to the Skybox, which is an extra step, and it's annoying. And the remote control has motion control in it as well. So it's like trying to use a Wii. I don't know. I just haven't got on with the LG. I think if I spent 10 minutes learning to use it, I'd probably be okay. But because I don't learn to use things, I just expect them to work the way I want them to. I'm always frustrated with it. But yeah, I think if I was buying a new TV now, I'd probably go for another Sony one like the one we had before. But it was muchos poundos. And bearing in mind it's in a smash zone, it's just a little bit, it's, you know, we got the cheapest one they had in Argos, just in case. LG quality is great, but the OS for it is absolute garbage. Yeah, I'd agree 100% with that. Right, yeah, the match has just kicked off, so I've got 21 seconds on the clock right now. So I don't know how that matches up with you lot. So we've hit 30 now. So we should be roughly in real time. Yeah, cool. So it's got the advantage of you're not going to spoil me massively, but the disadvantage of you can't tell me when to watch because it would have already happened. If you want the best streaming quality, get a new 4K Apple TV to plug into your TV. I mean, yeah. Can you... This is... See, I don't really look into this stuff very much. So I don't really use the TV very much. But can I throw a YouTube video from my Android phone to an Apple TV? Or is it just Apple ecosystem stuff? Because I don't use my Android for that often. But sometimes I'll have my Android in my pocket rather than my iPhone. And I'll just want to use that. You can do that. Okay. Maybe I'll look into an Apple TV then. I've never really had a good enough reason to buy one. Because we've got like 5 Chromecasts in a cupboard somewhere that Spotify were giving them away. I think I got one with my Google Stadia. There's been various times we've been given free Chromecasts for various things. But if Apple TV is a step above, I do like my Apple products. We've signed this guy. I don't remember signing him, but we've signed him. So let's welcome him in. Welcome along. Mentoring group needs a tickle. Let's give it a good old tickling. There's also a YouTube app on the Apple TV. There's a YouTube app on the LG, but it's just clunky. I've had my LG for about 2 years, like the TV, and its features. I like the TV and its features, but I have an issue with the screen having a blue color issue and nothing in white. Anything in white has a blue tint to it. I've not noticed that. I swear by my 4K Fire Stick. Amy was asking for a Fire Stick the other day. We used to have one, but I don't know where it's gone. But I said, do you want one of these Chromecasts? No, I want a Fire Stick. I know how to use that. That's what we've got at Mum's. Oh, I don't know where any of them are. Wasn't there a time where you couldn't watch YouTube on Fire Stick? Is that still a thing? Google and Amazon still arguing about that? When do I find out about the pizza? Perhaps you weren't in at the start of the stream, Beagles. We got through to the semi-finals. So voting is now open again. We need to vote for Magnificent Meat Feast again to try and get us through to the final. Are they trying to sign my player? So thank you to everyone who voted in the first round. Let's vote again using the ! Pizza link. We're voting for Magnificent Meat Feast to get through to the final. We knocked out Tubes. Our community is more powerful than his 100,000 plus Instagram followers. We knocked him out with 10,000 followers because you lot do as you're told. His lot obviously don't. YouTube's back on Fire Sticks now. Awesome. Anna hasn't had the test yet. They haven't arrived. My Fire Stick was rubbish. Replaced it with a Chromecast. Yeah, I like Chromecast. I always keep a Chromecast in my suitcase for when we're away, just in case. And that last time when we were in London last summer, it was an absolute godsend because the TV there just didn't work properly and Andy would have flipped out. But we just plugged the Chromecast in and it was absolutely fine. Let's get Dad to watch YouTube for a bit elsewhere, but Fire Stick got it back quite quickly. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Weasel Game has casted their vote. Thank you very much. We only have to do it. This is the only time. We don't have to do it again after this. I mean, it'd be nice to win the whole thing. Might get some newspaper coverage. Who knows? But getting through to the final means I get maximum spondoolies. So we just need to mobilize again, get me through to the final. And then it doesn't really, certainly from a financial point of view, it doesn't matter if we win the tournament or not, as long as we get through to the final. In the semis, you're voting for Magnificent Meat Feast again. It doesn't matter what you vote for in the other one. I voted for the chicken one. I figured that was less likely to win. But you got to vote for Magnificent Meat Feast. There will be more Instagram photos. It's all been shot. It's just gone away for approval. So it'll be towards the end of this week. The Instagram stuff will come out again and officially announcing we're in the semi-final. But anyone who voted in the first round has had an email today inviting them to vote in the next round. So there's no use keeping it secret. Voted for your pizza. A bit hard having two meat feasts against each other. Yeah, mine's the big one with the stuffed crust. Theirs is the pathetic small one. Oh, everyone's voting. Thank you very much, boys and girls. So let's face it, the further into this competition I get, the more times you get to see me wearing a shirt that's clearly too small for me, but is the biggest size they had available. So that's always fun. I'm there advertising pizza, literally dripping out of the t-shirt that I'm wearing like a melted candle. It's a beautiful image. If that doesn't sell their pizzas, quite frankly, I don't know what will. I remember trying to sign Kevinster. Hold on, why would we sell him? We're not selling him. Cancel that deal. Have I bought the Beyblade for Jack yet? No, he's supposed to be sending me a link. And that's not Kimmich who's been booked, is it? Oh, he's in my fantasy team. Oh. Well. Well, well, well. Say what you will about American sports coverage, but ESPN does a pretty good job with the Euros. I mean, I have no concept of if American sports coverage is good or not. It's the American sports that are rubbish. Coverage is probably great. Yeah. What's my score prediction? I don't know. I don't really do predictions because I don't like to be wrong about things. I'm expecting Germany to win. But then I'm expecting France to win the tournament. So it'll probably end up being a draw. Right. Who's this guy? This is someone we're trying to sign without having scouted him. Let's assume my director of football is doing magical things again, like they did before. Or have they lost their touch? No, they're still doing pretty well. That is not a bad signing for £1,000. That'll do nicely. We've got 3 very good strikers now.
Have more interaction
Pablo,
with you than
thank
any
you very
other
much.
streamer, so I kind of owe you this.
Ah, thank you very much. Very kind of you. And thank you for 3 months. Ooh, 3 months. Happy days. Would you rather buy him for 1k or go to England versus Scotland? What, this guy? Oh yeah, I'd rather go to the football. I've not been to Wembley for years. I've never been to an England match. England-Scotland would be fun. Whose nuts gone green? Pablo's nuts have gone green. Well done, Pablo. Oh, green nuts, as I think they call you. We don't know if we got into Europe. We're not going to know, presumably, until the cup final, which is in June or May or sometime. So if we win the cup or Dynamo Brest win the cup, they're the only 2 in the top 4 that are still in it. So if either Brest or us win the cup, we are in Europe. If not, then whoever wins the cup will be in Europe instead. And it's ridiculous that it's done on next season's cup rather than this season's cup, I assume. I'm just letting my director of football run this window for me because he's doing a sterling job. And I just don't really want to interrupt him from doing his work. Andy Barter's in with a sub. Thank you very much. I don't know why we didn't get music. There we go. We've got music. Alan's in as well for 16 months. Thank you to both of you. I'm a nut. I'm a nut. Use your influence as an internet personality to wangle some tickets. If Ellis couldn't get free tickets, I don't think I'm going to get free tickets, am I? I know Jackmate went for free, didn't he? Heineken sent Jackmate along, but he's got 1 million subscribers. I suspect he's got slightly more influential reach than I've got. Spencer was there too, was he? What, on a freebie? I know Curtis was there as well. So, I don't know how many of them were getting in on a jolly. Offer Heineken a VIP to my channel. I mean, frankly, Heineken, if you watch him, I will take the tickets. I don't especially want to work with an alcohol company as a non-drinker. I can't exactly endorse Heineken as the most delicious of beers because it will taste like dishwater like all the other beers do. That being said, if Heineken want to send me to England versus Scotland, I'll pretend to drink it and tell everyone it's great. So Coca-Cola, on the other hand, they got snubbed by Ronaldo, but I'll happily unsnub. Drink Diet Coke. Send me to the football. Yeah, I know Ellis paid for his. Hate beer, but Heineken is a special kind of terrible. This isn't doing my chances of getting to this match any good at all, is it? Peter Kay worked with John Smith and he's been teetotal for years. Is that so? I guess it depends how much cash they want to throw around. Can confirm I'm a Heineken representative after that dishwater, not dishwasher, Comment, we having concerns about your commitment to the brand. I love Heineken. It's proper delicious, innit? Give me some of that lovely Heineken. Full fat Coke, maybe that's why you didn't. I mean, I've studied the video in great detail. It was 1 bottle of full fat Coke, 1 bottle of Coke Zero, new label style. I know my Coke. Cola lost $4 billion in value for that, apparently. Really? It got them trending on Twitter. There's more people talking about Coca-Cola today than there would be if he just sat there and drank a bottle. So, I don't really understand. 17 years ago on honeymoon, I drank Heineken 6-pack. I found under the bed. Haven't touched it since. Nice. What, you found beer under the bed of the hotel? That's amazing. Would I go to the World of Coca-Cola in Atlanta if I visited America? If I happen to be in Atlanta, probably. I've done the Coca-Cola experience at London Comic Con, where we got to, I mean, I guess it was a very, very scaled down version of that, but we got to play around with the bottles and try it fresh out of the magic machine. I love Coke, and I wish they loved me the way I love them. I still really want the sponsorship. Diet Coke is the dream sponsor. Pepsi can do one. I'm all in on Diet Coke. Someone clip that in case Pepsi ever approach me, and you can cancel me with it. He's telling everyone how delicious cherry Pepsi is, but he said on a stream 4 years ago that he hates the taste of cherries and Pepsi can do one because Coke is better. Cancel him. Get him. Get him. Gotta keep it. You gotta clip it and keep it safe somewhere. What about Nuka-Cola? Me and Anna made some Nuka-Cola in a vlog. Coke deserves all the credit for not changing their sugar levels after sugar tax was introduced like the rest. I mean, Coke do plenty of sugar-free options, don't they? Just looked at next season's Europa League qualifiers in real life, and the 2020-21 Cup winners from the Belarus qualified. Well, interesting. But I am just not going to do any of my own transfers this I keep saying summer, it's January. Because this has turned into a director of football save. It doesn't have to stay as one forever, but I think this squad's already good enough. And my director of football keeps offering me more and more players. So on that basis, I shall just keep taking them. Thank you for the players, Mr. Director of Football. So I like Pepsi, but I also eat tofu and support Wednesday, so my taste is questionable. Mexican Coca-Cola tastes better than any other Coca-Cola due to using sugar cane. See, I don't like sugary drinks, so I'd go to Mexico and I'd order Diet Coke. Pepsi sponsored Britney a few years ago, then she was perhaps drinking Coca-Cola. Because it obviously tastes better. People that do that are really weird. Like, why are you trying to trip people up? People just like to ruin people's lives, don't they? I'd have scored that. What is Paul Pogba for? I score that. Glad I didn't draft him. Draft him. Yeah, we're drafting now. See, Germany now going to score from this counter. Who's up front for Germany? I didn't actually look at the teams. Have they got Werner up front, or are they going to score a goal? With your Fit by 40, has any weight loss or health companies ever approached me for working together? No. I think for stuff like that, they're probably more likely to approach me when I've lost £100 rather than when I've lost 15. Because the last thing they want to do, I mean, Weight Watchers aren't going to throw any money at me if I've lost a stone and then put it back on again in a month. But if I half my body weight, then they might. Gnabry and Muller and Havertz. Okay. Last time I checked, it was Jurgen Klinsmann up front for Germany. Diving as well, probably. The rascal. Cheshan. Yes, you can go out on loan. Absolutely, you can go out on loan, but I am going to need your wages to be paid. That's how we do things around here. Looking great, Kev. Thank you very much. Kurt Muller's on the bench. They still have Franz Beckenbauer. Presumably. Who was that really old defender? Lothar Matthäus. I remember from a kid just being 1,000 years old. Lothar Matthäus still play. Again, why would he stop now? Matthäus was a midfielder. Not towards the end of his career, I dare say. He must have played as a sweeper or something late on. When I saw him play as a kid in a World Cup. He must have played as a sweeper or something for me to think he was a defender. Which Prem team am I supporting next season? We haven't decided yet. I think it's narrowed down to either Leicester or Arsenal. But I don't know. They both have serious pros and cons. Someone suggested why not just start the season following them both and see which one you get more excited about when they play each other. And that's a great shout. Might just follow both of them. And then first time they play each other, see what my heart reveals my true preference to be. Still waiting for confirmation from Mike that Lothar Matthäus played as a sweeper at some point. Am I going to have to look this up myself? Lothar Matthäus. Oh! 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 Look at Kev being right. Position. Midfielder. Defender. Midfielder. Sweeper. Kev is the greatest. My knowledge of German football is vastly superior to Mike's. I am a hero. Well done, Kev. Just jolly well done. Oh, did I miss a goal while I was celebrating being great? Who scored? I'll watch the replay, shall I? Oh. Who scored it? Is it Mbappe? Because I've got him in my team. I want Mbappe or Kante scoring goals, please. It's an own goal. Well, that's silly. They should shoot into the... Oh, dear. That's a terrible own goal as well. How do you do that? He's just shinned that in. What is he up to? What's he even trying to do there? What a silly goose. Mbappe would have had a tap in. Yeah, he should left it for him. I get 5 points if Mbappe gets the tap in. Or 4 points, whatever you get for a goal. I think is it 4 or 5? I did see that Sky News have now come around to my way of thinking about Harry Kane. Everyone will. Kev's always right. Lothar stopped playing when I was 3 years old. Any excuse. And then Matthäus Sammer was supposed to come through to be the next Lothar Matthäus. But then didn't he get a bad injury or something? I remember Sammer being brilliant on Championship Manager. At some point, probably in the late 90s. I don't know, when would Sammer have been? Related news, Thomas Muller just got sacked by Everton on my save in 2046. Nice. Sama retired before Mateus. Did he really? Thomas Muller is the most German-looking German to ever exist. But does Thomas Muller look more German than Chiellini looks Italian? He's the most Italian-looking Italian to ever exist. Mateus didn't retire until 2000. He must have been about 400 years old at that point. Who's the most English looking player? It's a good question. It's much harder to have stereotypes about yourself, isn't it? Who's the most English looking player? What, in our squad or just in general? Harry Maguire looks pretty English. There you go. Someone else has come straight in with Maguire. I think Harry Maguire looks pretty English. Rooney's a good shout. Gazza's a good shout as well. Oh, it doesn't say a lot, does it? Doesn't say a lot about English people. I think of the current squad, Harry Maguire is probably the most English looking. Right, we have a free kick on the edge of the area. Just waiting to see if this free kick sails into the top corner, or preferably Kimmich gets hold of it and he scores, giving my points. Someone's only gone and got their head on it. Wow. So we're signing another guy. I am just leaving my director of football too. That we might end up regretting it when the new season starts, but for now, it's the perfect way to do a transfer window when we're already good enough for where we need to be at this stage of the career.
Let's go.
And I'm watching the football. SJH Sports, thank you very much for the sub. See, if I had the 4K on, I'd be able to read these names and numbers on the back of these shirts. It's troubling. It's going to trouble me forevermore. Someone needs to get Sky on the phone and get him to tell him Sky Q boxes need to start outputting 4K. Every time I look up since the goal, it's been all Germany. France had the ball since they scored. Yeah, the main Sky Q box does 4K, but the mini boxes don't. And as I'm going to watch this one far more than the main one, I want the 4K on here. They got another free kick. I watched bits of the Portugal game. I watched the last 10 minutes, so I watched enough of it. But I was doing dinner when the Portugal game was on, which is all right until everyone else comes in and starts eating. I'm not allowed to leave the football on or eating. I saw the last 10 minutes, so I saw everything that needed to be seen. This is in Munich, but they've got seats in the colours of the French flag behind one goal. That's nice. What a nice touch. Just change them out and make it the main one. I don't have satellite cables coming into this room. So I can't. Bum, bum, bum. Right. Do we want to sell him? No, we don't. 5-star potential. He stays. Hungary game was cruel. Hungary all over Portugal in the second half. They did seem to have the stuffing knocked out of them by that first goal. And then this Ronaldo guy, tell you, he looks like he's got a bit of talent about him. Don't know if you've seen him, but I was impressed. I need your help. So if I get money from the Champions League, it doesn't add up to my transfer budget. Normally it does. Huh? So if I get money from the Champions League, it doesn't add up to my... The two aren't related. Yeah, it's up to your board how much transfer money to give you. It's not... If it usually matches up to Champions League money, that's just a coincidence. It's not related. I haven't got my 100k plaque for LOLLUJO yet. It took about a month to get the last one through. So, yeah, it'll be a little while. I have got my verified tick, though, on that channel, which is nice. That happened within days. Normally the seats make a Bayern logo, so they needed switching for this. So are they playing multiple matches here? Are they going to keep switching them out for each game? People said I wasted money when I was at Bayern, spending £1 billion on players. They're just buying loads of seats and then throwing them in the sea. I assume there's sea in Munich. Strikes me as a coastal resort. At Munich Beach. Let's not send Kimmich off because I don't want to lose more points.
Hope you're well, smile.
James, thank you for the sub. 2 months. Beautiful. Since Bayern is red, blue and white, I think they don't throw them away. But who are they playing next? Who else is in this group? If there's someone sat there working out how to do the different flags using the exact amount of seats and the exact colours that they've already got, that's quite impressive. Scotty, 16 months. And Gethin can't say Munchen, apparently. Hungary and Portugal. You could give me all year with a pack of felt tips and loads of white paper and ask me to draw the Hungarian flag. And I doubt I'd ever get anywhere near, so I don't know how easy it is to do that. You also can't say it. Look, I did German GCSE. We were taught Munchen. That's not how you say it. You're saying it wrong. My German GCSE. Have you got a qualification in speaking German? Because I have. That's how we were taught. Red on the top, white in the middle, green on the bottom. Okay. I live 2 hours away from Munchen. Show me your qualification. How do you say it then? Type it out phonetically for me. Let's see if you're wrong. How does Google Translate say you say it? Because I really want to be right here.
München.
That's exactly what I said.
München. 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 München.
That's exactly what I was saying.
München. München.
It only gives me the option of doing it in British or American. We can do it in American.
München.
München. München.
Look, there's not a chance Google's wrong. I think you'll find Germany is wrong.
München. München. München.
Hold on, we can do it slow.
München. München. München.
Well, yet another example of Kev being correct. Moonshine. Yeah. That's where moonshine originally came from. Needs to be a segment. What, me being correct? I mean, it's just basically all of every stream. I just might got an example of it being said wrong.
München. München. München.
I'm still hearing exactly the same thing that I said and Google Translate said.
München.
Except this lady sounds like she's got like a mouthful of crisps while she's saying it.
München. München. München.
Yeah, my way was right. She's wrong. Stop eating crisps while you're doing YouTube videos. Goodness me. Get rid of those crisps. She's munching crisps. Exactly. Leave the crisps alone. Every time I hear that, I hear a different pronunciation. Is a bit wet. Is a bit Welsh. What? I don't understand. Right, Ivanov needs a new contract because he's awesome. Anyone called Ivanov automatically gets new contracts whenever they want them. Oh, I've got windy pops. That's fine. We can leave that as it is. Oh, a recruitment meeting. I might actually sign someone for myself off the back of the recruitment meeting. Otherwise, we're just going to keep leaving it up to my director of football, who's a genius. I can't stop burping. That was thunderous. There was so much oomph to that it still feels warm in my throat now. Oh dear. Am I getting the new Microsoft Flight Simulator? Probably not. I've never played Flight Simulator. No, we're not gonna. Although he was called Villa Lobos. Is it coming out on console or is it just on PC? Because I did get one of these that I haven't set up yet. Where's the camera? There. So if it's on that, I might. Just so I have some things to play on it. It is on console. Ah, excellent. I might do them. Is it included in Game Pass? If it's in Game Pass, I'll probably give it a go. Love me a bit of Game Pass. Game Pass day one. Beautiful stuff. It's why I've got an Xbox. Well, I couldn't find a Series X for love nor money. Not that I need one, really, as it's mainly for streaming with. And I can't stream in 4K anyway, so the S will do me just fine. Am I having it or Anna? I'm having that one. I got Anna one as well because she wanted one. There's no way I would have got away with buying myself one and not getting one for Anna. So hers came yesterday, mine came today. You're only allowed one per customer on Amazon, so I bought one on Sunday and one yesterday. Weird restriction, Amazon. Microsoft Flight Sim has been on the PC for a long time. Yeah, but can you play it with an Xbox controller? Series S is 4K, not according to the box. Forza Horizon is one of the things that convinced me to pick up an Xbox. Although obviously I'll be able to play it on the PC. I just feel like I'm more likely to sit in the living room and play it on Anna's Xbox. Which is justification for wanting one in here. Right, we want to sign this guy. Because he's called Fernando. That sounds Brazilian. So he must be good. Although we probably need to check how many foreign players we've got. He is Brazilian. So if we go to our registration page, because we're only allowed 5 foreign players, aren't we? I think. Where can we see nationality? There must be somewhere that adds up nationality, and I'm really gonna have to general info. Right, so we've got one. He's only on trial. At the moment, we've only got one non-Belarusian or Russian player. So that's fine. That's fine. Where's my custom view gone? There it is. How are we doing for finances? We've still got so much money to spend. Also a red card, did somebody just say? Why has he just grabbed his eye? I only saw the second half of that tackle. Is that Kimmich getting sent off? My fantasy team is in tatters. I'm sending the French guy off here for holding his eye. Okay, he did get a boot in the face. That's accidental, surely. He's not deliberately kicking him in the face. He's falling over. How can... That's not a kick in the face. He's been pushed off his feet. He gets booked for that. That's insane. He hasn't been, has he? Good. You can't be in control of where your feet end up if you're knocked off your feet. Right, do we need to bring any of the rest of these in? So he's Serbian. So we can squeeze a Serbian in. Should we squeeze him in as well? Oh, no, he's not interested. Why are you here on trial then, you nerd? Let's take a goalkeeper in as a backup goalkeeper. Why not? What's Kante done now? I wasn't paying attention and now you're all doing Kante love. Do I get some fantasy football points for it, whatever he did? So if we win our group, we face the runner-up in this group, don't we? Is that right? That is right, isn't it? So based on what we've seen so far, we really don't want to face Portugal because that Ronaldo guy is quite good. But Germany have had a lot of the ball in this game. I suspect any of the 3 of them beat us, to be honest. Ronaldo had a good 10 minutes. That's all it takes, isn't it? The worrying thing is he's 50 years old and it was the last 10 minutes because he's the fittest man in the universe. Yeah, I think looking at Germany's front line, their attack, I'm less worried about Germany than I am about France or Portugal. Ooh, there you go. We've got our backup goalkeeper. Look how happy he is to be coming in as well. He is delighted to be signing for us. Yeah, Germany as a team don't look as good. It's just Germany, isn't it? We always lose to Germany. Are all our games at Wembley? Or is that only if we win the group? Or do we have to go on our travels somewhere at some point? I haven't looked that far ahead. So all group games are at Wembley. But round of 16, is that at Wembley as well? Quarterfinal was the only one that would be away. Okay. And that's where we could potentially face France or someone if we finish second in the group. Who, if, let's say, I mean, the thing is, Germany aren't likely to finish second in the group, are they? And it's second place in the group we face if we win our group. So it's going to be France or Portugal who we face. If we get past them, who would it be in the quarterfinals? Round of 16 is at Wembley if England top the group. Okay. Quarterfinals is away in Rome. Okay. Third place in the group is Hampden against the winner of the Spain group. Okay. Why do England play all their games at Wembley while a lot of other teams need to travel around? Seems unfair. I mean, I suspect money has an awful lot to do with it. Right, Fernando's coming in. Having a tournament in multiple countries doesn't feel the same. I don't know, I quite like it. I think it's quite good fun. I think, certainly, if we were allowed to travel internationally, it'd be even more fun. Wouldn't it be far better with full houses? It would, but there's nothing we can do about that, is there? Hungary had 61,000 their stadium stay. Yeah, but we don't want the Euros to be hosted in Hungary, do we? It's much better to be at Wembley for England, even if it's a quarter full Wembley. Right, I'm tempted to send this guy on a language course, even though we know it's going to cost a fortune. Because we're not going to have many people going on language courses, and he's going to be our best player. Or one of our best players, so we really want him on a language course. He needs to speak the language. That parcel turned up that was mentioned in the vlog. Yeah, that was Anna's Xbox. I talk about it on the vlog I've recorded today. That will probably be out tomorrow. We recorded a whole thing of Anna unboxing her Xbox. And it wasn't on the SD card when I went to edit the video. I forgot we'd recorded it. And it wasn't until I went to Anna this afternoon and said, we never filmed your Xbox yesterday. Should we film it now? And she went, we did. We filmed unboxing it. I was like, oh yeah. It's not gone in the vlog. So yeah, we've messed up there. And I'm messing up this team talk as well. But I think we've turned it around. We've turned this ship around. Beautiful stuff. The what? I am streaming. I'm definitely streaming. There's people in here talking to me and everything. Give me your device. I'm definitely streaming, aren't I, everybody? You can see me. Anna's saying I'm offline. I'm fairly confident I'm not offline. It says live. It's got the live thing up there. Well, let's close Twitch and go back in. Perhaps Twitch is having a moment. Your phone is impossible to navigate. What net? Have you gone back on the 5G network? No. That's why you can't do anything. You can't sit here on the 2.4 one. I don't know where your settings live. Settings. Oh no, you are on the 5G one. You need a new phone. Please, everybody, tell Anna to buy a new phone. She's using this old thing that doesn't... It's like 2 years old. It's your phone or your Twitch. It's not me. Anna needs a new phone. Make her get one. They're telling you to get a new phone now. I've upset the squad now as well. Yeah, because you've got a phone that needs replacing. Anna's looking on Facebook Gaming. You'd know if Anna was looking for me on Facebook Gaming because she'd be doing it dressed head to toe in gold and diamonds. If that's where I'm going to be found. Yeah, lots of people saying get a new phone. I got a new phone last week and mine works beautifully. Get a new phone, Anna.
Why?
So that it works.
Yeah, but they'll bring out new ones in a couple of months.
Kev, get Anna a new phone. She won't let me.
I'm still in under this.
Contract schmon schmacked. Contracts are for nerds. Dynamics is broken, by the way. We've destroyed everything with all these new signings. I'm talking to this lot. They've destroyed my squad with too many new signings. Just turn it off and on again. It's a piece of junk. Give her crowdfund. It's not that we can't afford... We can afford a phone. She just doesn't want one. So you got 400 download now. Right, try on Twitch again. Yeah, this is I don't know. Just turn it off and on again. This is an iPhone, whatever the big new one is. Whenever I get a new iPhone, I just go and get the most expensive one because I assume that's the best one. So it's the biggest, most expensive one they do. I don't know what it's called. But I dropped my other one and got a crack in it. I can't live with a cracked phone. So I got a new one. Dun, dun, dun. Clip and climb, absolutely. Should we schedule some clip and climb? 12 Pro Max. The names are so dumb these days. Right. Why can't we do team? Oh, we've already got team bonding in. We won't fiddle with this at the moment. It'll be fine. Once we win a few games, it'll all start to come around. We'll turn this ship around. New iPhones being announced in September. I don't like to get them when they're brand new. I like to see that they're working and that all the accessories and stuff are out for them. Especially when they change loads of stuff, like they changed the shape of this one. It's gone back to the square shape thing, which is cool. I prefer this shape. It's a really big, heavy phone though. Comparing it to this is a Samsung S20. It's slightly bigger in every direction, but the bezel on the Samsung is much larger. So the screen on this is massive. Need to see Ben's tweet about Kante. What has Ben said about Kante? Is it something really insightful? I think it's a joke. I think he's trying to do a funny. I don't understand it. How am I today? I'm very good, thank you. How are you today? Is Kane still bad? Has Kane ever been bad? Who's trying to make the argument that Kane's bad? Because I've never made an argument that Kane is bad. I've made the argument that I've never seen him have a good game because I've only seen him play for England where he doesn't fit into the system. So Kane still doesn't fit in England's system, but he's obviously not bad, is he? Just have to look at his career stats to see he's quite good at football. Have I caught any of the Nintendo E3 content? I haven't. But with Nintendo, I don't really need to see E3. I just know that if they bring out a Mario game or something equivalent, I'll buy it. If they bring out, if anything else that's not a Nintendo traditional game comes out, I'll get it on one of the other consoles or on a PC. Nintendo's just an easy, I'll buy anything they release situation, as long as it's not got Zelda written on the box. I'll probably catch up with it before the podcast on Friday, just to make sure I'm a professional and I do my bit. My mum had a new iPhone delivered yesterday, came with no plug adapter, which was fine. However, it came with a USB-C charging cable. So it was her first iPhone. She would have had no way to charge it. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't really bother me. I bought one of these with it. So I've got the plug that the USB-C goes into, and it's the MagSafe thing, which is cool because it just magnets straight onto the back. Fast charge, and it also works on the Android one as well. So that's just my charger now. And then, yeah, this is the cable that came with the iPhone, which I don't know why they don't just give up on Lightning altogether and just do USB-C like everything else in the world is. But apparently that's too easy. Scuba Steve, thank you very much for the 12 months, an entire year. I think the assumption with Apple is that everybody has Lightning cables around their house or wireless charging docks. It's kind of at the point now where they don't even really need to put a charger in the box. Nintendo don't put chargers in DS boxes, do they? Because everyone's got DS chargers. "12 months" says 9 on here. Oh, it does say 9. My apologies. I don't know where I got 12 from. Tired eyes, I guess. It does say 9. Also saves so much logistics and waste. Yeah, definitely. The box that the new iPhone came in is tiny. That's the box. That is a tiny box. Big enough to put 2 phones on top of each other in, and that's it. Much better for the environment. And let's face it, just knocked the router down. I've got these things all over my house from, what is it now, 12 years of iPhones and iPads. I've got so many of these things. There's probably 3 or 4 of these in every room. And everyone's the same, surely. Everyone's got loads of them. Don't change from Lightning because they make money if you have to buy one. I think they will change from Lightning. Everything else they do is switching to USB-C, isn't it? I think they just have to leave Lightning long enough for people to be able to say it wasn't a flop. I think Lightning is on its way. I think even Apple know that there is a good reason to get to the point where you can charge your computer, your tablet, and your phone all on the same charger cable. What are we talking about? Someone crashing onto the pitch? I'm watching adverts. Am I missing something? It's just adverts on what I'm watching. There's a parachute that's landed on the pitch, was there? Interesting. I missed it. I could rewind. I mean, if it's that eventful, surely they'll show a replay of it. Oh, blimey. Are they supposed to be there? I'm assuming they're not supposed to be there. Matey boy's banged his head. What is happening? Why has he done that? How odd. I want to parachute onto a football pitch. Cable, yeah, the cable in the box is lightning to USB-C. But everyone's got lightning cables or wireless chargers lying around, surely. You wouldn't if you got caught in the spider cam. What is a spider cam? And how do you get caught in one? He's timed it well to land on the pitch at half time. He'd have got more attention if he'd have done it midway through the second half. What, so he crashed into the camera above the pitch? Nice. What a silly goose. What a silly, silly goose. Where do I think Peter will finish in the championship next season? Hopefully outside of the bottom three. And that'll be an achievement. Right, are we ready to kick off now, boys and girls? We're back in the studio now. He also hurt a technician. But then he needs arresting. Oh, after all Anna's talk of blocked nose, I've now got a blocked nose. I think she's given me pretend COVID. It was a replay. He landed before the match. Did he, by golly? Roy Keane's not impressed. Roy Keane's never been impressed in his life, has he? Right, are we ready to go now? Rudiger did a Suarez on Pogba, did he? What makes you think you can get away with that with all these TV cameras here? Other than the fact apparently he has got away with it. Right then. Football. Second half. We'll have a couple of goals from Mbappe, please. That's what we need now. We need Kimmich to not get sent off. And a couple of goals from Mbappe. And that'll do nicely. Hello, Kev. How good are Ali McCoist and Clive? Well, I'm not listening to the commentary, and I've never heard Ali McCoist make sense in his life, so probably not very. I haven't watched NXT from the weekend yet. I'm too busy watching all this football that's been on. To be honest, I don't really watch NXT anymore. It's still coming home, Kev, is it? We'll see, I guess. I'm not as afraid of either of these teams as I was pre-match. Maybe they'll give me reason to be afraid of them in the second half. Right, we've just signed another player with an excellently groomed beard. He's in on loan. Last year has been mental, pandemic going on, and the most bonkers thing that's happened all this time is Kev is actually watching football. I know. I figured it's about time. I have to for this job. It's becoming more competitive. It's not enough just to be good looking and the best Football Manager player anymore. I need to add another string to my bow. I need to become a football expert so I can tweet and people retweet me. A nicely groomed beard is important when signing a new player, yeah. At the moment, I have more viewers than Stephen Larson. That's because they're making content about a tiny little niche thing. Whereas I'm making content about football. So that does not surprise me. People who are really into wrestling think wrestling is bigger than it is. But in reality, I imagine Raw in the UK probably gets a couple of thousand people watch it each week. Less viewers than the hot tub stream, I know. One day, I've got the pool, or the paddling pool. Jump on the bandwagon because Old Cut is this month in New Zealand. I'm not going to make videos about football. Just want to be able to have the odd tweet that doesn't make me look like an idiot. I don't really get football videos. Not because I don't like the content, I like the topic. I understand football is a thing. I just don't really get why people want to watch YouTube videos about it. But maybe one day I'll watch one of his videos and I can be proven wrong. Do, 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 do. But at the moment, I'm kind of, I don't know, I don't need to see who someone thinks should be in the England squad or what their tier list of whatever tier list they're doing this week is. I don't really get it. I think it's a genre of content that's grown up with me not paying any attention to it. So I don't really get it. Yeah, if I want sports news, I watch Sky Sports News. Exactly. I want something, I want it live unfolding as it's happening. So Twitter or the radio or the TV. I don't want a video about it 2 days later that it's full of someone's opinions who I probably disagree with. But maybe I'm just a special kind of Kev. Maybe I'm a massive hypocrite who'll check out these videos you're talking about now, decide that's where the money is and start making them next week. When's the hot tub stream? You promised it would happen. I did. I didn't promise when it would happen though, so I haven't decided when. I like them because it helps me understand tactics more, but that's just me. Yeah, see, I think football disappears up its own backside a little bit sometimes. the amount of people talking about how great Emma Hayes' commentary was yesterday, whereas I was just sat watching it thinking, if she says low block one more time, oh, I don't need tactics buzzwords. That aspect of football coverage does not do anything for me. I don't like it when people try and make it sound more intellectual than it actually is. Just people kicking a ball around. I had to look up what a low block was. I'd never heard it until I heard it 15 times yesterday. And then I looked at it and thought, so what? We don't just call that getting men behind the ball anymore. Why did that need a name? Why did defending need a new name? That's where you differ from other people. I'm a coach and I like to hear a professional point of view about the game. Yeah, whereas I'm just a person who likes watching football and don't want to hear people try and make it sound more difficult than it is. They should give you options. Do you want commentary for normals or commentary for faux intellectuals? Right, why is he not in the squad? Get him all in. Get everyone in the squad. If you want no tactical insight, just listen to Robbie Savage. Robbie Savage is awesome. I can't say it with a straight face. In all seriousness, though, I don't really see any harm in Robbie Savage. It's just harmless noise making, which is what commentary is. To me, football commentary is there purely so that we're not watching in complete silence when the crowd are quieting down a little bit. What's my tactical insight for Bourne? Is it just hit it and hope for the best? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't need people try. Ultimately, I much prefer watching football live and in person, and I don't have a commentator talking nonsense in my ears then. The best commentary is cricket commentary. When they just start talking about what cake they've been sent or how many pigeons are on top of the main stand. I want them to be trying to entertain me, not talk to me about the detail of what's going on. I can see the detail. I'm watching the game. If it was radio commentary, it'd be a little bit different. But TV commentary, they should just be there to entertain. Right, do we want to let Mogilev is not the player, Mogilev is the team. Do we want to let this guy go out on loan? Yeah, we probably can. Go out on loan. Yeah, test match special is what commentary should be. Mbappe's in here. He slowed down though. Doesn't he realise he's in my fantasy team? The best commentators know when to say nothing at all. Exactly. Yeah, I genuinely expected to go on Twitter yesterday after the match that Emma Hayes was commentating on, thinking, oh God, not only, I mean, her commentary's been terrible and she's a woman. She's going to get ruined for this terrible commentary. And I went on there and it's like, oh my word, everyone thinks she's great. I mean, I am following the Football Manager crowd. It was good to see there wasn't any sexist nonsense, but it was like, oh my word, everyone enjoys all this tactics mumbo jumbo. I'm looking for very different things from my commentary. I want Jerry the King Lawler on there. Get him on there. That's commentary. Stop talking about what's going on the screen. I can see that. How am I doing points-wise with my fantasy team? Let's have a look, shall we? As it stands right now, 52 points. I need Mbappe to grab me a goal or two. Then again, it's better than the posh radio commentaries. I'd much rather sandwiches and stuff. I'd much rather have that. I don't want them to... to me, maybe I just like old school commentary. The job of a TV commentator should not be to describe what is happening on the screen. I can see what's happening on the screen. They should be there to add to it with entertaining comments and excitement. Bring back Lorro. Absolutely not. Worst manager in posh history. He's not welcome anywhere I am. Right, we've got a chance here for Germany. Oh no, is that? I think that's for Germany. It is for Germany. Oh, it's hit your man lying on the floor there. What's he doing there, the silly rascal? He just gets out of the way, they score. Which brings me to something else, actually. Which game was it? I think it was the England-Croatia game. I think I only noticed it from Ellis's video because he shot one of the free kicks from behind the goal, and one of the Croatia players was lying on the floor behind the wall while the free kick was being taken. What the hell was that about? Why was he lying on the floor? I've never seen anyone lie on the floor behind a wall before. That's been a thing for over a year. Why? What's the point of that? Most teams do that now. You don't watch enough football now. I mean, you know I don't. I mean, I watch Posh, and that doesn't happen in Posh matches. Or the draft excluded because people kept kicking it under the wall. That is, without question, the most pathetic thing I've ever heard of. It needs to be banned. That is so dumb. That is so dumb. Oh my word. That is absurd. He's taken a clonk to the head, hasn't he? If I was the attacker, I'd pelt the ball at the guy's face. I mean, what's to stop a player from the other team lying down next to him and not letting him get up? I'd have one of the attacking players lie down in front of the wall so they can't jump. Just lie on their feet at the bottom of the wall. You have to be a metre away from the defensive wall. But you get attacking players in the wall sometimes. Since when has that been a rule? What, so if I'm an attacker, I can't stand on the end of the wall now and then duck out the way and try and get in the wall? That's ridiculous. Football's so rubbish. Football is rubbish. What's wrong with... So you can't do that anymore, but you can lie down on the floor. So they've taken away something good and replaced it with something really, really dumb. I hate football. Cancel everything. I'm taking this telly down. This is ridiculous. Ugh. I'm actually playing a football match here. There's a thing called offside as well now. Offside's good. Offside stops that stupid goal hanger kid that everyone had in the playground. I was always the kid who would be calling for offsides when we were kicking a balled up glove around in the playground. I wouldn't allow offside then. I've always had my standards. Stops players cheating and moving away from the wall. How is that cheating? If they can all stand there in a line, surely I can stand there in a line too. Good luck with the Prem when someone scores and they break out the lines and the striker's toe is off. Ah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. Right. Belarusian Cup. Crucially important because we need to win it to be absolutely sure of being in Europe next season. And once again, we face our former parent club at this stage, Neman Grodno. This is who we faced in this stage last season. Would be obstructing the defensive wall and poor sportsmanship. Lying on the floor behind the wall is poor sportsmanship. That is the most ridiculous anti-sporting piece of turd I've heard in a long time. That you have someone pathetic enough to lie on the floor in case the striker is smart enough to kick the ball under the wall. That is the most anti-sport thing I've ever heard. Goodness me. You'd do it in a showdown. Absolutely, I would. I love cheating in a showdown. But still. But hey, we did a football. Love to know what percentage of goals from free kicks were scored from the ball going underneath the wall. Must be so low it's completely pointless. Yeah, it does seem... To me, it feels like that player could be more useful somewhere else. I mean, whoever's thought of that thinks they're being clever. But I'm pretty sure that player is more use somewhere else. If I was the player taking the free kick, all I would be trying to do is chip it over the wall so it lands on his head while he's lying there on the floor. Or smash it under the wall into his head. I'm not even aiming at the goal. I'm aiming at him. I'm making sure he doesn't lie there next time there's a free kick being taken. I'm excited to see what else I discover about modern football by watching these Euros. It's a matter of time before someone gets a head injury and it's banned. It is dangerous. What happens if the wall, if the guy in the wall level with his head takes a step back, stands on his head, surely it's not safe to play football with somebody lying on the floor. Yeah, that's been disallowed for offside, isn't it? If this, like this goal here, that's disallowed. But if when he receives the ball, there's somebody lying down in the penalty area, the ref blows the whistle. Oh, that guy's lying down. He must be hurt. That's what I'd do if I was the referee. Oh, he's lying down. Right, he needs to go off for treatment. Get him off. Referees, clamp down on it. If anyone lies down, get him off the pitch for treatment. In rugby, they just play on. Yeah, but rugby is a game for lunatics who enjoy pain. The FA tried to bring in no headers in youth football, but it never worked and everyone still did headers. I mean, how can you stop people heading a football? I mean, imagine having no headers in youth football and then they get to the professional level and a cross comes in and they don't know what to do. At what point do you learn to head? Bicycle kick. They're trying to stop under 16s heading the ball. So what happens when Jude Bellingham comes on for England in the Euros, age 17, and has never headed a football in his life? Yeah. Fred Starr's hit the nail on the head. How do you win in heads and volleys? Heads and volleys was my favourite version of football growing up. Lux, thank you very much for the sub. We've just won 3-0 away in the quarterfinal. We are a good football team. Ivanov is a good striker. My brother-in-law destroyed his shoulder playing rugby and the doctor told him to rest for 8 weeks. He was playing again the following week. We're a different breed. It's a thing here in Scotland. Kids still do it in games sometimes, but as coaches, we aren't allowed to teach them. That's mad. I mean, surely you need to be taught how to head properly. To prevent the long-lasting effects on the brain, they're doing studies about heading the ball relating to brain damage. I mean, you get kids training to box. I would argue, if you're worried about kids getting their brains rattled, maybe stop them from boxing before you tell them not to head a football. You need to pick your Prem team by 9 AM tomorrow as Premier League fixtures come out. Why do I need to have picked by then? Ideally, we get Arsenal versus Leicester on the first day, and then I can I'll stream myself watching it, and I'll decide then based on who feels right to cheer for in that game. Give kids under 11 helmets or something. Guess. I don't know. I just don't see that heading a football every now and again is going to cause that much in the way of problems, especially with how light footballs are now. I guess it's a little bit different when there were big leather things with laces down the side of it, and it was like having a sack of bricks chucked at your head. But footballs now are like balloons. Right, let's see if we can win this second leg as well. Don't be Kevy 2 times. It's not right if you support 2 teams. Well, I won't be supporting 2 teams, will I? I'll only be supporting Posh. I'll be following the other team. Unless I start going to matches and stuff, I'm not supporting them. Imagine trying to save a header assisted by a helmet that burst the net. Yeah. Some coaches pump balls up so hard it hurts players' feet when they kick a ball. Well, those coaches should be banned. We're scoring again. Studies are being made now and using the results from the NFL. But surely it's a little bit different in the NFL, where a big part of the game is running headfirst into another massive guy who's running headfirst into you, so your helmets smash into each other. Surely that's going to have much more of an impact than just heading a football. It's the same impact. Is it? Is it though? I find that so hard to believe. Bum, bum, bum. Triple sub, that's the spirit. We've got to do the triple sub. Triple sub is how you do substitutions. If you want to change a game, change quarter of your team. Having a 15-stone guy charging into you is not the same as a football bouncing off your head. Yeah, got to be inclined to agree with that. I mean, ultimately, if you're going to stop kids from heading a football, you have to stop everyone heading it. You have to take heading out of the game. At which point the game's gone, isn't it? You can't do football without heading. That's what they're doing. But they're not, are they? I'm watching players head footballs in this game. If they were actually doing it, it'd be quite simple. You'd just say, right, you're not allowed to head it. You head the football, you get sent off. Sorted. That'll stop them immediately. First couple of red cards for it. Right, we'll stop heading it now then. We'll just let it bounce. Kids are still developing body-wise and just don't have the same protection as adults. Yeah, but the problem is kids are going to do what they see their heroes do. It's all well and good saying, when you're 16, you can head the football. But if there's players heading the football in every match they see on TV, they're going to emulate what their heroes did. I mean, anyone of my age would have spent hours on the field behind their house trying to do scorpion kicks. The amount of us who were probably inches away from breaking our spines trying to scorpion kick a football. Trying to imagine you doing a scorpion kick. Please attempt one at 1 million subs. I've not tried it in about 30 years or 25 years. Or when would that have been? Mid-90s? Football needs multi-ball. That's not true. In hockey, players body check at the highest level, but it isn't introduced until kids are under 13. Until kids are 13 for safety reasons. Younger kids don't go smashing each other because they see it on TV. I would suggest that's because to play hockey, you have to be in more of an organised environment. I wasn't there playing for my Sunday league team trying to do scorpion kicks. We were on the field doing it, like 4 or 5 of us just trying to do it. It's a little bit different with something that you can't just go and do on the field. Still try to protect the youth. Yeah, the best way to do that is to have the same rules at all levels, so that if you've got kids who've never seen anyone head a football, they ain't gonna try, are they? It's certainly not natural. Your natural instinct as a human when a football comes towards your head isn't to say, you know what, I'm gonna swing my head towards that as hard as I can and see what happens. Your natural instinct is get out of the way. You teach yourself to head it because that's what you're taught to. You're conditioned to think that's what you do. So if every match players, young kids see there's no heading, it won't occur to them to head a football. Pies or pasties? They're both pretty good. Depends what's in them. Apparently Mbappe's quite fast, so I hear. He wants to score a goal rather than running around. What we got? 10 minutes left for Mbappe to grab me a couple of goals. So repetitive heading of the ball. Kids who train pretty much every night, then play games as well, constantly heading a ball will be more at risk. I'm not saying every kid heading will develop it, however, there's a lot more exposed developing dementia in later life. There's something needs to be done. At a certain age, they do start from age 12. They're taught this. I'm not talking teenagers, but under 12s. Yeah, that's when kids are out on the field. Do kids not go to the field anymore? It just seems like the obvious solution is don't let anyone do it. If it's bad, don't let anyone do it. Right, we're playing against one of the Brest teams. The other Brest team is the other team that can win this, and we get into Europe. So if both us and Dynamo Brest get through to the final, we are guaranteed Europe. I think. But who knows? It's getting so complicated. do, 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 do. That's my boy Kimmich. He's calmed down a little bit, has he? Right, let's win a league game then. Because the other thing, as well as winning the cup this year, we should probably just try and win the league and get into the Champions League and then start collecting a team to win that. Seems worse when the ball hits the top of your head, so teaching proper technique seems the best approach. And that's where the difficulty comes in, because yeah, I certainly as a kid, I remember when you headed it wrong and it comes off the top of your head, it really hurts. Whereas if you connect properly, you don't even feel it. So what does more damage, I guess? Practicing so you have the right technique, or doing it wrong consistently? Which does more damage? They stop players heading. I can see them stopping overhead kicks as players will hurt their head from a boot just as much as the ball. That's a good header. Disallow it. Send him off. Oh dear. I mean, I should probably add the context to this that I did used to play centre back. So obviously I'm very much in the heading is great camp. Most of the goals I scored playing football were headers. And I did say, I'm doing really rather well. Thank you very much. My brain is jelly with water in a hard casing. Your brain is jelly with water in a hard casing. My brain is awesome. My brain's made of leather. Would leather be any better? Well, based on this, and I've obviously not been able to watch all of it. Oh, he's in again here, look. Go on, grab me a goal. Oh, why go for the assist? Grab the goal. Oh, I just lost, what, 2 points, 3 points there? Oh, he could have scored there. He could have hit that. Guarantee he's not. If Giroud's up alongside him there, he's shooting. That's for sure. Has it been disallowed? Draw the lines. Look, the linesman's flag stayed down. You can keep your silly cameras to yourself. The linesman's flag stayed down. If they can't find a linesman as quick as Mbappe to keep up with the play, that's not my fault. It feels like their problem. Oh, he's going to the little telly. Well. Well. Unacceptable. Well, at least we've just scored. That's the important thing. The Bears are coming to get you. I mean, he doesn't deserve to win because he's just wearing a black t-shirt. Any manager in a black t-shirt should be sacked. The guy against England was just wearing a white t-shirt. If you're not going to wear a suit as a manager, get out of here. It's a suit or nothing. I was a little bit disappointed with Southgate because he took his jacket off and rolled up his sleeves. At least he kept his tie on. But these Herberts who are just wearing t-shirts, they all need dealing with. We're talking about stopping kids from heading balls. We need to deal with the real issues in football. Managers dressing like they're on their way to buy a pint of milk on a Sunday morning. He's basically wearing his pajamas. Unacceptable. Take it seriously or go home. Trackies, don't even let him in. Anyone wearing a tracksuit should not be admitted to a football ground. The players should arrive in suits and change into football kits. The managers should wear suits. Any fans wearing tracksuit bottoms should be escorted off the premises. Tracksuits have no place anywhere other than on tracks. They're not called go everywhere suits. They're called tracksuits. Wear them on a track and nowhere else. Tuchel takes it one step further and wears a cap. Oh, football's gone. Tuchel wears a cap to cover his dodgy. Oh, he's the Chelsea guy, isn't he? Who needs to just shave his head. Isn't Tuchel also called assistant manager 6? No comment. Why are they all waving their arms around in the air? What about grassroots football managers? Are they allowed to wear tracksuits? No. No, they are not. If you're going to be a manager and wears a hat, forget about wearing a bowler. If you're going to be a manager who wants to wear a hat, don't be a manager. Go and be a hat wearer. Bunch of scruff bags. My question is, do you let the kids play in tracksuits? No? Well, then the manager shouldn't be wearing one either. Apparently at Rangers, the laws of the club say the manager and players need to be suited and booted every match day. See, that's... I'm completely on board with that. That seems very sensible. By Kev's logic, Darren Ferguson should be fired from Posh. No, he should just be told to wear a suit. He always used to. Someone needs to have a quiet word in his ear and say, no, your dad, he used to wear a suit. Just putting that out there. You've got the same name. You've got his DNA, yet here you are in League One again. What's the difference between you and your dad? You're saying I have to wear a suit when I go back to coaching. Yes, absolutely. Dagger's manager is a hybrid, not always in a suit, but when the cameras turn up, he's in one. But as long as I don't have to see him looking like a scruff bag, that's all right. I don't mind that. Tracksuit top and jeans. Oh, ugh. If you're in Weatherspoons during happy hour, maybe it's the only time it's acceptable to wear that ensemble. Right, semi-final time, boys and girls. Imagine a manager comes to the game in a nightie. The Germany manager is basically wearing underwear. He's wearing his undershirt in public. In all seriousness, speaking as a teacher, there's a reason kids wear school uniforms. It instills discipline. Get footballers in suits on match days. Discipline. Are you posh, Kev? An undershirt. Yeah. Obviously an undershirt. Isn't an undershirt a vest? Yeah, he is wearing a vest. He's just wearing a plain black t-shirt. That's a vest, as far as I'm concerned. How do you know it's not non-uniform day if the Germany manager, Kev? Look, if he's paid his pound, then fair play to him. But I haven't seen evidence that he's paid his pound. So until I see that, he should be wearing a suit. We are 1-0 up, boys and girls. Yeah, I'm wearing underwear now. I'm sat in my own home playing video games, watching the telly. I'm wearing what I would... Well, I'm not going to sleep in it because it's too hot. I'll be sleeping entirely naked. But in the winter, this is what I sleep in. Shorts and whatever t-shirt I had on that day. I'm not a millionaire. I don't own separate pyjamas. How close am I to joining my nearest walking football club? About as close as I am to becoming a professional ballerina currently. Don't forget to reinvigorate my balls before bed, like I would forget. I keep my reinvigorating ball spray on my bedside table. I'm close to being run out, actually. If Manscaped are paying attention, want to send me some more. I sleep naked all year round. See, I prefer not to be completely naked, because if I have to go to the toilet, most of my life I've lived in a world without an ensuite. It's only the last 6 months or so that I've had an ensuite. So until then, having to go across the landing to go to the toilet, when you've got kids, you probably shouldn't be naked. But now we've got an ensuite, I guess I could be naked all year round. Must be a sight for Anna in the morning. I mean, she's a lucky lady. I have a dressing gown on my bedroom door. See, I don't own a dressing gown. I don't see the point of dressing gowns. And that's the point of them, is to wear when you're naked and going to the toilet. Then I guess I do see the point. But if they have some other purpose, I don't get it. Always sleep in boxers, just don't like being completely exposed. Oh, I like my testicles to be free. I don't care, no one's going to see you. I mean, almost certainly the case, but on the off chance that one of my teenage daughters also happens to be going to the toilet, I'd rather just not be walking around the house naked, ever. It's just a silly little quirk of mine. I prefer not to be naked in front of my teenage children. I put mine on when I come out of the shower. I own a towel that I use for that. Dressing gowns used to drink 5 AM coffee in the garden. I don't drink coffee until I've dressed. Let's have a third. Come on. Top corner. Oh, nearly. Nearly. How much added time have they got in this? How is this still going on? I've just glanced up and they've been playing for about 3 weeks. As I was saying, though, before the Mbappe disallowed goal, I've not seen anything in this game from the little bits that I've been able to glance up at. I've not seen anything that scares me as an England fan. The only scary thing I've seen today is Portugal's last 10 minutes. So I'd like to avoid them, please. Mbappe's pretty scary. He's not scored, has he? Put a shirt on. Goodness me. There's nearly 8 minutes of time being added onto this now. I mean, this is going to go into tomorrow's fixtures at this rate. Finland and Russia kick off at 2. These lot need to get a wriggle on. We're playing Brest a lot at the moment. We've got a triple Brest situation going on. My wife just said, see, I told you France would win because they're nice. I mean, maybe we should be following her for betting tips for the rest of the tournament. Clive just repeated what I said, that no one looks scary. See, me and Clive, we know. Right, we're going to play one more game to get ourselves set up for the third Brest in the next stream. While we're playing this one more game, if you haven't yet voted in the pizza thing, !pizza, to vote for Magnificent Meat Feast in the Tournament of Toppings. Help Kev out. Help Kev out. Tournament of Toppings. Magnificent Meat Feast is the one we're voting for. Doesn't matter what you vote for in the other semi-final. We just need to get through to the final, because then I get paid. And you want me to get paid, don't you? Don't you want me to get paid? This is money now that will be hitting my bank account around about the time FIFA 22 comes out. So think of it this way. The more pizza money I earn now, the more packs I can open on stream in September. We'll be sat there going, well, all that pizza money's just come in. Let's buy some more packs, shall we? That's what we all want. Kevy 10 packs, they'll call me. Who's in the semis? 3 pizzas that aren't as good as the Magnificent Meat Feast and the Magnificent Meat Feast. We've already dealt with Tubes. We can take on anyone now. He's got over 100,000 Instagram followers and we've dealt with him. Job done there. Done. Celeb wise, me. I'm the celeb left in the thing. The only other guy I'd heard of has been knocked out. Why can't we make... Oh, we've already made 3 substitutions. Okay. I voted for the other one because I don't like foot. I don't have to spend it on Ultimate Team. I could spend it on feeding my children. You just took food out of my children's mouths. Because I'm still going to buy those FIFA points anyway. But now I'm just not going to feed my kids that week. Simple, really. I'd rather have the points. They can forage for food in the neighbours' bins. You did that. That's not my doing. I'm not the one neglecting them. You're neglecting them. Joking. I voted for you. Thank you. My kids don't have to forage. Right. We're going to wrap things up there. That was a very dull 0-0 to finish things off. In fact, I say we're going to end things there. I promised you potential European qualification tonight. So we're going to play one more match because if my maths is right, if both us and Dynamo Brest win, that is us in Europe. So we're going to find out. I don't know if the game will be fancy enough to be able to work it out to that degree, but we'll know. And then in the next stream, which will probably be Thursday, I'm thinking probably Thursday will be the next stream. We're going to play the final then if we get there, which would be super duper. Bum, 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 bum. What's wrong with Wednesday? They got relegated, didn't they? Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. I've got a bottle of water here that I've not opened all evening. So I shall open it now. Ooh, a football joke. I should get cricket applause when I do football jokes. I've been reading The Athletic as well and everything. Remember when I subscribed to The Athletic back at Christmas time because it was cheap and I wanted to learn about football? I've been trying to become a football fan for a long time now. But this week, I've gone a step further. As well as paying for The Athletic, I've started reading it. And I've been listening to the Football Weekly Daily Euros podcast, even though it's got that Cambridge fan on it. I'm putting up with his nonsense. He's only mentioned Cambridge once. Is that Smart Water? Yes, it's Smart Water. If they want to sponsor me, is this the one that's from the Coca-Cola? Yeah, this is Coca-Cola as well. So Smart Water, Coca-Cola company. I even support you when it comes to water. So we're 2-0 up from the first leg. We just drew 0-0 with them in the league. So we need to not mess up. Kev's an expert. I'm going to be an expert. Your minds are going to be blown in 6 months when I know more about football than you do. Because I'm an obsessive nerd. I don't think you're ready for, if I actually commit myself to becoming a football expert, I don't think you're going to be able to cope with what I become. If anyone heard me on Diz's podcast talking about things I'm obsessively nerdy about, or wasn't to hear about The Athletic. Have you listened to already and Macintosh's content about FM? I tried listening to that podcast they did when FM21 came out. I really tried. But then I didn't because, well, if you've heard it, you'll know. I want to see Football Nerd, Kev. I'd have to give up wrestling or something. For me to fully commit, I need more time. So I'd have to drop the wrestling or drop the superheroes or something. Drop the video games. Because that's the ridiculous thing about the ridiculous way I live my life. I'm going to end this stream and I'm going to sit and play Ratchet and Clank for 2 hours before I go to bed. A normal person would just stream Ratchet and Clank and go to bed at a normal time. Not me. Oh no, not me. Why have I just made 3 substitutions with half an hour to go? Ooh, wrestling's a dwindling sport anyway. Yeah, but if they made action figures for football, then I think I'd be in. But I just love all my action figures. I've got loads more pre-ordered. I've had 6 new action figures every month for the last year or so. I love action figures. So if we could do some football action figures, That's what I really need to go all in. What time am I streaming until? At the end of this game. Who doesn't know what Ratchet and Clank is? I mean, to be honest, I'd never played Ratchet and Clank before this one. I'm only playing it because Anna got it. She wanted to stream it. And because of the joys of modern consoles, we got it digitally. So I just downloaded it as well. So I've been having a go on it. I've been really enjoying it, having never played one before because I wasn't a PlayStation kid. I'm Mr. Nintendo. So I never really had a reason to play Ratchet and Clank. It's quite good. Apparently there was one on the PS4 that's also pretty good that I should go back and play. So I might even go and do that at some point. I remember playing it for hours on the PS2 with my older brother. Yeah, but I never had a PS2. Well, I did. I got a PS2 when SingStar came out to play SingStar on. But when the PS2 was a thing, I had a Dreamcast and a GameCube and a PC. I was never really had a PlayStation. The first PlayStation I got at launch was the PS3. Right, I think we're through to this final. Now it's just a question of whether Dynamo Brest have done their bit. Because if they have, I will have delivered the European qualification that I promised you we were going to deliver. Gig Doyle, thank you very much for the sub. A tier 2 sub, no less. Thank you very much. See, I've not played Jack and Daxter either. What's Jack and Daxter? I know of it. As a world-renowned gaming podcaster, I know of the franchise. I've just never played it. Are they on the PS? Is it a PS2 mini? It's not. It's the PlayStation mini, isn't it? So they won't be on there. I've got one of those PlayStation minis somewhere. Probably still in its box. I've got the NES and the SNES as well. Never taken any of them out of their boxes. Right. So, are we playing them in the final? Do what? We still don't. How do we not know? They haven't played theirs yet. When do they play theirs? Right, we'll just go forward. So we need Dynamo Brest to win this game, and I think that puts us into Europe, because then it's guaranteed to be one of the top 4 teams winning the cup. Don't let us down, Brest, for goodness sake. So now we need to beat this lot who finished 12th last year, so we've got to win the cup to get into Europe, and that will be tomorrow night. Not tomorrow night, Thursday night. Unless I might stream tomorrow. I don't know yet. I probably won't though. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. But that's in the next stream. We have to win the cup. We lost in the final last year, so we have to win our first piece of silverware to get into Europe at the first time of asking officially, even though it's the 3rd season now. It's a complicated country to manage in, Belarus. Right, let's find somebody to raid. Who are we going to raid? What is the name of this website? Twitch.tv. Who have we got? There is nobody playing Football Manager hardly. I guess we're raiding Breezy then. It's almost as if everyone's watching the Euros at the moment. So let's raid Breezy. Compliment him on his amazing beard. Unless he shaved it off. If he shaved it off, just leave immediately. Just go in, say, where's your beard, and leave. But I'm assuming he's not shaved it. I think we're probably going to be okay on that front. But if he has, make sure you leave immediately. And I'll see you back here very, very soon. Toodle pip, boys and girls.